up, everyone, and welcome back to HBCU Game Day. I am Simone Stanley. He is our FAMU insider, Vaughn Wilson. Vaughn, how are you doing?
I'm doing great today, Simone.
All right, and your Rattlers, they just got a 35-7 win against Mississippi Valley State University. But even with a win like that, fans are upset with quarterback Jeremy Moussa to the point that head coach Willie Simmons had to go on Twitter and defend him. He said, breaking news, I am not in the least bit concerned about what anyone has to say about Jeremy Moussa. We embrace the passion from the critics, but he's earned the right to lead us. And leaders must be allowed to work through their mistakes, and he will. Hashtag FAMU, hashtag faith, hashtag our time. Now, Vaughn, Jeremy Moussa had 2 touchdown passes. He did have 1 interception, but he threw for 155 yards in that game. Why are fans concerned with his play?
Well, first off, just talking about the Mississippi Valley game, there is a petition out. We want the old announcers back that they had last year. So let's start with that. We can't let this go by without saying we want the old announcers back. But no, it was just Mississippi Valley's offense actually scored before FAMU's offense. You know, FAMU's defense and special teams have come up with big plays this year, but the offense is just lacking. It's like the first half they can't get going. And as far as the FAMU Nation is concerned, the team is too talented. The receiver core is just outstanding. He's got all the targets in the world. He's got running backs that are very good catchers. They can receive the ball very well. And there are times when he just flat out throws it, you know, when a wide open receiver throws it in the dirt or doesn't make the right decision. And it gets frustrating because there's a lot of hope for this team. Coach Simmons himself sold this as one of FAMU's best teams ever as far as the quality is concerned. But that quality and the level of the players has not shown on the offensive side. On the defensive side, it absolutely has shown that it is one of FAMU's best, but the offense just has not produced. They'll do like they did Saturday, not get a touchdown in the first half, and then the second half, you know, blow it up, and it seems like they had a good game, but they didn't. It just, against a team like Valley, who we know is not at their best, FAMU should have scored more points in the minds of the Rattler Nation.
Do you think fans are being spoiled, though, Vaughn? Because at the end of the day, FAMU is getting the wins. They've won every game that they've played against SWAC opponents. Y'all put up 35 points at the end of the day. If it came in the first half, the second half, if they all came in the fourth quarter. The offense got to moving at some point. Do you think fans are overreacting?
No, I don't think it's an overreaction, because when you get teams like Southern University in Baton Rouge, and that human jukebox is going to be going, the stands are going to be rocking, the fans are going to be excited to get that win. FAMU and Southern, there's a reason that when FAMU joined the SWAC, they kept the FAMU Southern game every year. It is a rivalry that goes way back, is deep-rooted. When FAMU plays in Baton Rouge, they travel well. When Southern comes to Tallahassee, they travel well. It's a well-traveled fan base. Intertwined family. So no, it's not going to be an easy atmosphere in Southern. And FAMU's concern, as far as the fans are concerned, is that inconsistency could show up and bite the Rattlers.
Absolutely. And I like that analogy there. I like that, Vaughn. I caught that. So what changed from last year to this year? Because going into the season, it was Jeremy Moussa this, Jeremy Moussa that, the best quarterback in the SWAC. All the defensive players at Media Day were talking about, you know, they want to have a good game against Moussa. What changed?
The only thing I can say is, you know, when that pressure's on you from the beginning of the season, sometimes you exaggerate that pressure. And I think he's going into the game, he's just tense. You know, being chosen as the preseason offensive player of the year, that's a lot of pressure. And I think last year he came in, he was, you know, unknown, and he was able to just go out and play. Now he carries that pressure. You know, he's got where last year his main target was Xavier Smith, he's got a crew of receivers, that can get it done. And so he's actually got a luxury even more than he had last year. So I think it's just a matter of his mentality coming into the season with that target on your back, and he's just got to settle down. It against Alabama State, he was not that effective. Several sources have said there was a serious exchange between he and Simmons at halftime, and he came out looking like old Jeremy Moussa the second half. Well, he came right back against Mississippi Valley State and started the first half with those same mistakes, but they were corrected. And then Coach Simmons, his side of it is those things are correctable. Well, he's been correcting them at halftime, and I think the Rattler Nation is waiting for him to correct those in pregame and have a full, complete game out of Jeremy Moussa.
So what I'm getting from this is the halftime speech needs to be given pregame.
That's pretty much it.
So we know the fans are upset. We know the fans are getting antsy. Do you think there's any concern from the team?
I have not heard concern from the team. What I have heard is I've heard defensive players, being on the sidelines, you hear things. And I've heard the defense at times say, hey, we got to go score. That defense is very talented and they can find ways to score. Isaiah Major at the end of the Alabama State game, he did an interception and he was determined to get into the end zone. That shows the urgency of the defense to help their teammates. So I think they're going to surround each other and all come together and realize that, hey, if we want to be the champions that we know we are, we're going to have to play better all around. And I'm just hoping, the Rattler Nation is hoping that will translate to the offense playing a complete game, which they have not played. Even though they've won 4 games, they have not played a complete game yet.
Some fans on social media were, saying that Willie Simmons, Coach Simmons needs to have a quarterback change. I honestly think that's dramatic. What's your take on that?
Well, I was one of those. Oh. But it's not to just sit the quarterback forever. If you watch football enough, you will know, even on the pro level in major college, when a quarterback is struggling, sometimes sitting over there with the clipboard for a couple series, you see the field differently. I think that's all we were saying. Sit him over and maybe, not actually having to be under duress during the play, you can actually see what the defense is doing. So for the most part, and I actually called someone who came with that suggestion, who's very emphatic about it, who wasn't as passive as I was. And he said the exact same thing. So I think Moussa is the guy that FAMU wants back there. I think the overwhelming concept was sit him back so that he can watch what is going on from the sideline and hopefully come back in and produce. I don't think anybody's ready to bench for good Jeremy Moussa right now.
Okay, that's great clarity, because a lot of time tweets can be a misunderstanding. It's hard to see what somebody's saying over a tweet, and especially at the quarterback position. Once you start mentioning the B word, the bench, you know what I mean? Like things can get messy, and we don't want that to happen. But I do agree that if you're on the sidelines, you can see the game from a different perspective. You can see, like you said, how the defense is approaching you. So maybe something like that could potentially happen. I think in the Southern game, they're going to need Moussa all game though.
Absolutely. If those Southern Jaguars, when the Rattlers come in there, records don't matter. It's going to be a clawing and biting game till the end. And we expect a great SWAC game Saturday in Baton Rouge.
Well, that Saturday game will show a lot. Somebody is going to be striking in that game. Will it be the Rattlers getting bit, or are they going to bite the Jaguars? We'll have to wait and see. But, guys, he is Vaughn Wilson. I am Simone Stanley. This is HBCU Game Day. Make sure you guys are liking the video, commenting, and subscribing. And until next time, see you guys later.